This is Harpy Stitch. I'm Amy. Welcome to my Flosstube. We're on Flosstube number 4. If you are new, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I am excited because I have 12 subscribers, so I've gotten into the double digits, and I have had my first comment on a video. Thanks, Ren. It was great. It was very exciting to get my first comment. I have one fully finished object. It's not cross stitch, but I thought I'd share it anyway because I tried a new craft. I tried my first diamond dot painting. I went with a little one and I had to get it because it was just adorably Halloween. I enjoyed it. It was really fun, but I think that I will probably stick mostly with cross stitch anyway. But now I have a cool little bat. I did have one finished object this time around. It was another Shawshank sampler. My husband can put a picture in here just in case you forgot what they look like. It was my second commission for one in a month, and I already mailed it off so that it could get to the person who bought it. All right, I do have several new starts. I am going to show them in the order that I think I started them in. My first one is the beginning of the Rare Horror Flies Sal by Noctifloradesigns. I started this on August 3rd. She released the frame a day early, and once I got a little tiny start on it, I was working on other things, so I finished most of this in the last 2 days. It is on 18 count Deadly Blooms by Witch Gardens Crafts. I am doing it 2/1 in the called for threads. The first piece of the pattern after the frame will be on September 4th. That is where I'm at with that one. Right, my next new start is Thank You for Being a Friend. It's a Golden Girl pattern by Haley Pierson-Cox. This is what it should look like when it is all done. I forgot to write down what day I started it, but it was between the between the 3rd and the 12th of this month. It is 2/2 on a bag that I got at the craft store. I don't have a count because of the bag. And I'm using the called for colors. There are 17 colors, and it will be a gift for a friend of mine. And I am going to go in, it doesn't call for back stitching, but I'm going to add some back stitching in because I think it'll help it pop on the darker fabric of the bag. And then I will put some interfacing in so that it stands up a little bit better to being used. And that is my second new start this month. My third new start this month was Seductive Kermit by the Witchy Stitcher. Here's what it should look like when it's all done. I did this for the Stitchy for Witchy Sal to support the Witchy Stitcher to help due to her new medical issues. I am doing this on a 32 count black Lugana, not Laguna. Lugana, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the fabric instead of doing all the black stitches. I started this on August 12th. I'm doing it 1/2, and I am using the called for colors. It is 12 colors, well I guess 11 since I'm cheating and using the fabric for the black. My fourth new start this month was Sapita by Maroomy Designs. I'll have my husband put in a picture of what it would look like when it is all done. I started this on August 14th. I'm trying to jump into the future to October apparently. So I started this on August 14th. It is on 32 count Yellowstone by Needle Bling. I am doing it 1/1. And instead of stitching the designed piece, I'm flipping it and I'm doing the negative space. And I am using a variegated DMC It is 4240 Midsummer Night to do the part that was shown as blue on the pattern instead of doing the white stitches that were shown on the pattern, because I thought that this makes a lovely yellow for the sun. So I thought it would be interesting to do the negative. Now on to whips. First whip I'm going to share with you is the Halloween Storybook Stitch Along from 2021 by Stitchonomy. Here is what it will look like when it is all done. And here's where it was last time. I am doing this on 14 count oatmeal Aida, and I started it on July 5th. I am doing it 2/1, and I am using the Etoile 310 rather than the standard 310 for the frame. I've gotten it all finished, and this is the last house on the left, I believe. It will be fun to see what it looks like when it is all finished and framed. All right, my second whip is the Yule Pentacle by Kix Stitches. This is what it will look like when it's done. And this is where I was last time. I am making this as part of a set for my son-in-law. It is on 28 count casual linen, very smoky white, and I'm doing it 1/1. And I love how the candle's already looking. I was trying to get to some solid stitches so I could get a block in, which will help me get everything else in. I have to be very careful about not carrying threads because the fabric is so thin that if I'm not, you'll be able to see it through the back when I frame it. So I have to be super careful. Another stitch along from Stitchonomy, the Kingdom of Lifestyle. It just finished up recently. I did not keep up with it. It is on 14 count Aida from DMC. The color doesn't have a name, unfortunately. I am doing it 2/1. I finished the first section and got partway through the second. These are both singular or cell organisms. I think it's going to look really fun. I did enjoy, there's a middle piece that's the sun here, and I haven't decided if I'm going to stitch the sun or if I'm going to go find the embellishment that they recommended to put in the center. I have a few decisions to make on this one yet. When I do work on it, it stitches up really fast, and I love all the bright colors. This one actually makes me think of a watermelon. All right, my next whip is my welcome sign that is space themed for my library. I got these patterns out of World of Cross Stitching. I don't have a fabric count because these are just pendants in the scrapbooking section from the craft store. Last time I shared it with you, I had the W done, and since then I got the E and the L. I started it on July 5th. I'm doing it 2/2. And these take me about one stitching session, so just like a day working around other things that I have to do. And so I'm almost halfway there. I am going to be focusing on this to make sure I get it done before the school year starts. My next whip is Cape Honeybee by Maroomy Designs. This will be a gift for my child. This is what it'll look like when it's all done. Where I was last time when I shared it with you. I started this on July 5th. It is on 22 count white. I'm not sure what kind of fabric it is. I just pulled it from my stash. And it is 2/1 using the called for colors. I really like this purple and how it is popping. I'm going to get a little trinket box and have this inserted into the top. Or I will insert it into the top and give that to my child when it is all done, probably for Christmas. The last WIP I have to share with you is my Goth Temp Stitch Along. I am all caught up as of yesterday. I am using the expanded temperature grid chart that was created by Stitchy Bitch. I'm doing this on 28 count Picture This Plus French Lilac. It's 2/2. When I finish with all the books, I will go back and do the back stitch, and then I will create another piece that will have the legend for the temperatures and the colors on it to be a partner with this one. I really am liking, you can start to see things are getting a little bit cooler in the mornings again. It's really fun to watch it change. Next is haul. I have several things that I got. There was another Heaven and Earth sale. So I got the Light in the Darkness, which is Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. I'll have my husband show it here. Oh, I'm sure most of you know what it looks like. And the other pattern that I got was Cliffhanger, and I will have my husband show it here. This one I'm really excited about because it is the Cliff book kind of combination. So I've got a lot of like nature feel and books. So that's going to be super fun to have up on my wall at some point. I did get the max color version of Cliffhanger. I thought I would share with you what my Temu bags look like. Not fancy, not super pretty, but they work. You can fit an 8.5 by 11 picture or paper in here. So since I use paper patterns, that's very handy. This was my other stitching purchase from Temu. It is stickers. They're color matching with the color that they are supposed to be in the number. They seem to stick a little bit better than the DMC, but one problem is that they are a little taller, so you have to fold them over the bobbin. And so if the back's not really stuck on well, it will get caught on thread and get pulled off. But the fact that they have the color that they're supposed to be on it really helps you figure out which one it came off of. I had a day this month that was super happy, stitching mail-wise, because my cross stitch magazine came. I said I only had the one, which was true at the time. However, Just Cross Stitch sent me a thing in the mail where I could get 70% off and get like 2 years for $25, including the Christmas ornament issue. And I was like, yes, please. Even if I only stitch one thing out of each magazine, or I'm only interested in one thing out of each issue, that more than pays for itself, considering what patterns usually cost. So I have my World of Cross Stitching and my first issue of my new cross stitch, Just Cross Stitch. With Just Cross Stitching, I didn't get a pattern this time. I got these little decorative cardboard paper bobbins. I used to use these when I first started stitching just for everything, but I found for long-term storage, they just get squished. So what I tend to use paper bobbins for now is when I'm doing a project that has blended threads, I put the symbol on the bobbin, and then I just, when you string it and you have some left over, I just put it on the bobbin and then pick it up when I need that blend again, and you don't have it on there long enough to destroy the bobbins. So that's what I usually do with paper bobbins instead of trying to store long-term stuff on them. I thought that I would share a few of the patterns that I really liked out of these issues. Won't do a full pattern flip, but there's a couple of them that I really like. In Just Cross Stitch this month, I like this bear walk, like bears, and that's kind of a cool looking little sunset and pine tree. And they did have some really cute, like mothy bug things. So here is, this is actually based on a Shelley poem, and I love moths, so I thought this one was really cool. He does indeed love Shelley. they had these really cute ornaments. I think I don't usually do plastic, but I think I really want to do this melty candle jack-o'-lantern. It's super cute. So is this little witchy with all the spiders. Mother Nature Halloween, which is kind of cool. And purple haunted house. Haunted house and purple. Can't go wrong. And then this is super cute. I like the fabric they used for the bottle. And it's a little witchy welcome. And then, of course, it's got a cat. And I love cats. There are those out of that magazine. And then there were just a few. With the World of Cross Stitch, there was supposed to be a fold-out pattern, sampler pattern for like summer. Somehow it didn't get in my magazine, but it wasn't really my style anyway, so I'm okay with that. I'm hoping that the people whose style it was got theirs. And I didn't mark this, but because it's but I love the little furry tails. Like, she's such a little teacher mouse. It's so cute. They have a really cute C alphabet in this issue. And I thought it would be really fun to make another welcome sign with sea animals. Although some of my favorite sea animals wouldn't be in the welcome sign because they don't start with the right letter. But that's okay. They would still be super cool. And I do like a good nautical theme. So ship in the bottle. I thought that was pretty cool looking. Especially since it's on the water instead of just a ship in the bottle. I like the waves. I like the way they look. So that is all the cool things out of my magazines. So this I got as well for a project. It is 32 count Belfast Stone Gray. And I had a really hard time finding a piece that was the right size. This isn't the color that I really wanted, but I think it'll still look nice with the colors that are going to be in the project. And it'll work really well. I wanted something that looked like an old map or kind of antique paper, and they didn't have that in a big enough piece. And I wasn't patient enough to wait for them to do a specialty cut. So I just went and bought what they had on hand. So that was haul. Now, plans. My plans for the next week are to finish the welcome sign, finish the Rare Horror Flies frames so that I am ready for the first one to come out on September, which is awesome, on September 4th, because it'll be over the 4-day weekend right before school starts, right at Labor Day. So I should be able to maybe finish that first one before school starts and not have to worry about that for a week. And then my gift for my friend, who will have already received it by the time I do my next video, hopefully. Another thing I'm going to do is with my friend that just finished her first cross stitch. She finished No Problema, which was a little kit. And we are both Harry Potter fans. Somebody on Flosstube, I can't remember who, was doing the Stitch Your Own Adventure by Cunning Cross Stitch, Letters from Hogwarts. And I remembered that. I asked my friend, this will only be her second cross stitch project, if she would be interested. And she loves Harry Potter. And then the idea of having random things chosen with dice and everything seemed really fun. So this week we are going to start that together and get the frames started. And then we'll make sure that when we start the next section and we're rolling for the different, whether you got Quidditch or divination or anything like that we're together so that we can pick it together. So that I think will be super fun. It'll be like a choose your own adventure. And then after I finish my 3 main projects and start that new one, I will be working on the rest of my whips for the month. I know Halloween is coming up and I have several Halloween things, and I'm trying to decide if I want to focus on my Halloween stuff during September so that it's all ready for October, or if I want to just do Halloween stuff during Spooky Month. So I'm trying to decide which way I want to go with that. All right, so my first shout out is Dizzy Stitcher. Darren. He is a Brit living in Australia. I find his voice very soothing. His early videos, at least, are very short, so it's easy to get caught up. He does a lot of Stitch With Me's. Most of his projects are full coverage, and he loves anything with animals. So if you like animal projects, I think he might be a good channel for you to watch. Another person that I have watched all of their floss tubes is Stitchy Rin. Stitchy Rin is a designer, does a lot of geeky stuff, did a Keyblade stitch along that they designed themselves, Sailor Moon designs, so a lot of that kind of thing. They are also the person that designed the trans zebra that I did. They are taking a hiatus from their floss tube for now. I think they're focusing more on designing, but the floss tubes they have up are great. They're also very active on Instagram. In addition to geeky stuff, they also like Halloween. So that's probably why I watched a lot of their stuff. Another floss tube I've been watching is Accio Whip, which is a husband and wife team. They are both cross stitchers. It's Erica and Kevin. They, of course, clearly do a lot of Harry Potter stuff. He really likes Halloween and things that he finds funny. Halloween and dragons are his thing. She does more samplers and anything Harry Potter related. They're also Lord of the Rings fans, so they have several of the travel poster designs to like Welcome to the Shire, Welcome to Mordor, and all those different kind of things. So you get a wide variety of projects with them, and sometimes they laugh at each other and they give each other a little bit of a hard time. They also play Monopoly, competitive Monopoly, where Stitches earn the money, and Erica usually kicks his butt. So it's really fun to kind of watch them enjoy the same hobby, but also be kind of competitive about it. I am now going to share non-stitchy stuff. I am going to have my husband insert a picture of the progress on my quilt. I am hoping to get the front panel done this week. So I'll have him, I have a picture or two, I don't know which ones he wants to put in, of where I was laying out the final design. And now book recommendations. As usual, I'll do one adult and I will do one child. So my adult book for you this week is World War Z by Max Brooks. Please, please, please do not judge the book by its movie. That movie was a fun zombie movie, but a terrible adaptation of the book. The book is set up where a gentleman who was doing a report for the government goes and he's interviewed a bunch of people about their experience during World War Z, doctors, military, everyday people, anybody who survived that can talk about their experience. And so he does the official dry report and he's like, but these are stories that need to be told. And they go, well, then go write your own book. And so he collects all these interviews. I just re-listened to the audiobook. The audiobook is amazing. It has a star-studded cast and people are reading. Everybody's got a different, all the people he interviewed, has a different person doing them. So everybody's unique. So you really get to hear different voices in more ways than one. It is, if you like zombie stories, I really recommend it. It's not scary, but it's, what would happen in a terrible disaster and how would people cope with it and different ways that people dealt with their situations. And it's one of my favorite zombie stories there is. So that is my adult recommendation. For my kid book this week, I'm going old school. I am doing a favorite of mine from my childhood, a favorite of my husband's from childhood. It's old, but for me, it was one of the first interactive books that I ever read. It is The Monster at the End of This Book, starring Grover from Sesame Street. It was written by John Stone. It was my first call and response where, you can talk back to the character in the book, and it's still one of my favorites. It's one of the ones I think should still be in every library. I don't think it's one that gets dated. Kids love books they can respond to, and I think this is a great one for that. So those are my book recommendations. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my projects. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. If you know any good YouTube or floss tubers, if you have any recommendations about places to get great fabric, especially larger pieces, please let me know. I would love to hear about it. I don't need more enabling, but I do need more enabling. And I know that the FlossTube community is excellent at enabling others to continue their stitchy habits. So I hope you have a great week stitching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Enjoy your stitching!